on, everybody? This is Lance here, bringing you with a brand new video, and today we're going to be talking about the new archetype that is coming out of the cybernetic horizon. This is a Palladion. I think that's how you pronounce it. Palladion. I'm sorry. It's a new archetype coming out of cybernetic horizon, and it's actually kind of an interesting one. So let's just jump right into it. We got a lot to talk about here. So the first card that we're going to talk about here is Paladin of the Fiendish Illusion, level 3 fire spellcaster effect monster with 400 attack and 2000 defense. The stats on this card are pretty good for level 3 monster. You can special summon as one card with this card's name written this way. In its first effect, you can only use the second effect once per turn. So both of them are hard restriction once per turns. The first effect is you can special summon this card from your hand to your link zone. To your zone, a link monster points to in defense position. That's pretty good. Second effect is if this card is normal to special summon to a zone a link monster points to, you can target one Paladin card you control and one card your opponent controls and destroy them both. It's pseudo removal. I guess it's pretty cool. It's it does target, unfortunately. So actually no, you target one card. No, you target both. You target both of this, which is a little unfortunate. I think already, without seeing the rest of the archetype, if you're going to play this card, you're probably only going to play one of it, if that. Because of the fact that this card is has a targeted structure, but I could be wrong. The card seems pretty good though, just because just the fact that you can summon this card for pretty much free, though you have to have a link monster already on the field, which I guess we'll see how that works out for the rest of the archetype. Palladion, the Vast Sky, is a level 4 light psychic effect monster with 1600 attack and 1000 defense. When I saw the artwork of this card, this is probably just Arum. So rip in peace. Check this out. Sorry. Like, it has the same restrictions as the previous card, and I think, yeah, the same special summoning condition. The second effect is you can target one Paladin link monster you control. Only that monster can attack for the rest of the turn. Also, any battle damage it inflicts to your opponent during battling a monster is doubled. It's not terrible, I don't think. It's not the worst thing that could possibly happen in this for this effect, though it does restrict you to the specific archetype link monster Palladion, and it prevents you from even doing anything else with it. And right now, I think the three of them, I haven't really read them, but one of them only has 100 attack, so you're definitely not using that effect on this card. So, I mean, honestly, it's really just kind of confusing how this card's even, like, a thing. But I think because of the stat line on this card, and it's level 4, you probably would play 3, maybe, unless the other 2 cards are better than you play 2. So, next up is Palladion of the Sacred Tree. It's a level 3 warrior tuner effect monster with 800 attack and 1800 defense. Much like the Fire Dude, pretty decent stats. In fact, they actually pretty even out. Same special summoning conditions, same restrictions. The second effect is if a Palladion monsters you control will be destroyed by battle or card effects, you can banish this card from your graveyard or side of the field instead. That's actually not bad. This card is being a tuner, though banishing it, you kind of don't want to do that with your tuners. That being said, having some protection from some of them, especially since from what we've seen, these guys tend to be pretty squishy on the terms of the attack value. But having some battle protection is better than no battle protection, I think. However, it's kind of weird just to see this in any shape or form. But I guess it's cool. We'll have to see what the rest of the archetype can do. Maybe you play this as a 3-of because of the fact that it's a tuner. We'll see. We have 2 more cards here. The first one is Palladion of the Celestial Body. Level 4 Wind Dragon effect monster, 600 attack and 2000 defense. Some pretty good stats for this card, especially on the defensive side. The second effect is if this card is normal, it's supposed to send to a zone a link monster points to, you could target one Palladion card in your graveyard except this card and add it to your hand. Graveyard recursion is pretty good, so this one actually might be the better one. So just play 3 of this card. It's pretty good overall, so fantastic. And the last one, Paladin of the 100 Beasts, level 3 Earth Beast effect monster, 1200 attack, 1600 defense. The second effect is you can target one Paladin Link monster you control during this turn. If it attacks a defense position monster, inflict piercing battle damage. One of. This card screams one of. Celestial Bodies is a 3 of, simply because the fact that it is a pretty good effect. I think it's the best effect here. That being said, it's still pretty mediocre in my opinion, but we'll see if the Link monsters make up for it, and they're just a means to an end. So the first one here is a Link 1. This is Magius Palladion. Link 1, Light Spellcaster, Link Effect Monster with 100 attack, and the Link marker is bottom, and the materials are one Paladin monster except this card. So you can't just link this, you can't just link loot this, I guess, in some ways. And you only use the third effect of this card once per turn. This card gains attack equal to the original attack of the monster that it points to. So for example, if you're if this is the pointing to the 1600 guy, this guy is 1700 attack. The monster this card points to cannot attack. That's kind of weird. I would want to push more damage if I can, but I guess this is fine. If an effect monster is special summoned to a zone this card points to, you can add one Paladin monster from your deck to your hand. So ideally you want a normal summon, and then go into this, and then immediately activate one of their effects to special summon as soon as possible, and then immediately you'll get a search for this. So in this archetype, in this particular situation, I think you play 3 of this card in your extra deck because of the fact that this card is, it just lets you search. And the attack gain is sometimes relevant, but we'll see if it's even at all kind of useful. Next up we have Archlord Palladion, Link 3, Light Cyberse Effect Monster, 2000 attack, and the link markers are top, bottom left, and bottom right. So Decode Talker link markers, which is pretty good link markers, not gonna lie. The link monsters are 2 more effect monsters, including a link monster. So this card's actually generic. I think this came out the other day, but I didn't really get the time to review it because I've been busy. But the first 3 effects, first 2 effects are the same as the first one, so we're not going to reiterate something that's stupid like that. The third effect, though, is not a hard once per turn, believe it or not, and it is actually kind of interesting. Once per turn, quick effect, you contribute 1 Paladin or World of Legacy monster you control that this card points to. Then target 1 face-up card your opponent controls until the end of the turn. That card's effects are negated. That's pretty good, actually. That's a really, really fantastic effect. Having on-turn spot negation is fantastic for any archetype. I'm never going to complain about an effect like this. This card is easily really good, and the fact that this card can be even beefier is really good too. Just understand that your monsters won't be able to attack if they're pointing to this card. On a different note, if this card is also pointing to if you're playing against like the mirror match, or you're playing against, I guess, World Legacy in some way, you can just activate its effect this way as well. I'm not sure if you could. No, it has to be you control, which is sad. They can never really push the limit on this card. I wish I would say that this card points to, so that way you could just be like, hey, I'm taking your World Legacy monster to negate a card in your field. That'd be kind of neat. So, but they're never going to do something like that. The third, and I believe this is the final Palladion monster, Link monster at least, is this card is Regulux Palladion. Link 2 Light Beast effect monster, 1000 attack. Links are top and bottom. 2 effect monsters, including a Palladion monster. So if you are splashing this in some sort of engine, which you might actually splash this as an engine, this card is very good. It's kind of you might as well display it. The third effect can only be used once per turn. I'm not going to read the first 2 effects because they're the same as the other ones. If an effect monster is special summoned to a zone this card points to, you can add 1 Paladin Spell or Trap card from your deck to your hand. This one's actually decent. Spell and Trap card adding is really good. But we don't even know what the Spell and Trap cards do, which we already see that they're getting a field spell. So let's just jump right into it. So they have 3 cards so far. One quick play spell. We'll definitely look at that one. The field spell is called Reunite Palladion. 2 effects. The first effect, Palladion Link monsters gain 500 attack. I guess that's fine. Makes the Link 1 2100 attack in those. So that's pretty decent. The second effect is once per turn, you can target 1 Paladin monster you control. It can attack all monsters your opponent controls once each. Also, no monsters you control can attack this turn. So based on the wording of this card, you're going to be forcing yourself into attacking with just a monster. I guess that's fine, but this field spell is kind of mediocre. That being said, it is searchable in the archetype, and it is searchable with terraforming. So who knows? You might just play this simply because the fact that it grants your entire board, or just one monster actually, a Shura Priest like ability. If you don't know what Shura Priest does, it's basically this effect. Other than the fact that everyone else, the other monster can attack. We're actually just going to jump straight into the trap card. Crusade Palladion, or Palladion, I'm sorry, I keep messing up the name. It's a continuous trap. You can only activate one effect with this card's name per turn, so basically you can only use each effect of this card once per turn. The first effect is when activated, you can tribute one Paladin monster or World Legacy monster, special summon one Paladin monster or World Legacy monster with a different name, with a different original name from your deck or graveyard. That's actually not a bad effect. This is actually one of the better effects for a trap card. It's for archetype specific trap card I've seen in a long time. That being said, I'm not sure if you're going to play this simply because it's a trap, though. Though this is a bit of disruption for your opponent, because that means if they go into an attack and you tribute the Paladin monster, you just summon something bigger, they have to attack into that one. Though the Paladin monsters are not terribly big, except maybe you want to do the dragon, so you can just set it in defense mode. So, I mean, it's alright. The second effect is if you control a Palladion link monster, your opponent cannot target monsters for attacks except link monsters. I guess that's fine. A built-in battle protection from your non-link monsters is okay. I'm not really going to worry about that too much. So let's read this quick play spell. This is Obeyed Palladion. Only one effect, and you can only activate it once per turn. Target one face-up Palladion monster you control. This turn, that Palladion monster is unaffected by card effects except its own. So I think what this is supposed to do is you're supposed to like combo this in tandem with like a link monster. Let's say you have a link monster, the link 1, and then you have like the 1600 dude. Since you can't attack, you swing with the link 1, assuming there's an empty board. Then you activate this card so the dude can attack, because it makes it unaffected by card effects except its own. So that's pretty cool. I think that's a really good kind of a way to cheat around the entire restriction of they can't attack. That being said, I honestly don't think they should have this restriction. The archetype isn't terribly broken, but it's alright. I'm not entirely sure where this is going to go. Maybe they'll get more support that'll make this deck a lot better. I like the artwork of all three of these cards, by the way. They're really cool. They're really good artwork. So I really like the artwork. Actually, I like the artwork of all of it, especially this guy. This guy's really cool. It's also majestic and stuff like that. So it's just kind of an interesting little thing that I like about this. I like artworks, and I like the World Legacy world line. So, but anyway, if you guys do enjoy it, please leave a comment in the comment section down below. Tell me what you guys think about this entire archetype. Will you be playing it? Do you think it's splashable on anything? I will see you guys in the next video. This has been Lance signing out.